come together now for Game 5 to keep themselves alive.
I mean, I remember a really critical moment in the game 3 when Uzi actually took a culling for inSec. And that may have been the moment that the team stopped playing together.
So just a quick update, the bans right now not coming up, but I'll tell you for the blue side of Salon Royal Club, Maokai, Alistair, and a change to ban Lucian out here. Yep. On the other side, for EDG, they've gone with Rengar, Zilean, and Fizz. So Maokai, Alistair, Lucian, Rengar, Zilean, Fizz. First pick Ryze for Cola.
Yeah, and that was the big question. Would they actually use that blue side first pick to pick Ryze? I'm actually very surprised that EDG decided against banning it, because honestly, Corn's Fizz, which was banned, by the way, sorry for the visual bug on the champion select screen, Fizz, Zilean, Rengar, again the banned champions for Edward Gaming, that they didn't ban Ryze, because I don't think ClearLove wants to play Lee Sin. Now they end up giving Ryze and Lee Sin over to Royal Club.
Could be big plays. Taking the Twitch away, possibly making sure Uzi does not get that, and they will. NaMei says, give me this, but that Lucian is now left up for Uzi. Not required to take it since they see the AD carry they're going up against. What is inSec now on? His Lee Sin was missing quite a bit. Wasn't in coordination. It is comfort. Does he fall back to it?
I feel like he has to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he will. I mean, we're talking about inSec here, and you know, whatever he's done in the past, he can always come up big on Lee Sin.
That's right.
He can always do it. Jarvan,
wow. I'm so surprised.
Mind gaming themselves.
He obviously hadn't performed amazingly well on Lee Sin, but like against Twitch, Lee Sin is amazing. Twitch opens up a singular place. The reveal if he tries to run away, the fact he can kick him back. Here, they have the all-in potential of a Jarvan Cataclysm plus an Orianna ult, which is nice. But his Jarvan honestly hasn't looked that good when I've seen it.
Definitely not in these group stages to come out here. He will try to play it. Once they do find the Twitch, they'll be able to lock him up. But if the flash is up, he's out, and he's rat-a-tat-tatting right back at them, stuck in their own Cataclysm. We'll still see the picks coming out. They're going to be a lot of safety for Rumble Ultimate to go down or engage a fight if necessary. See this come in. Does Uzi go back to a super late game? They need the mid game. That's where everything's been happening. Our longest game hasn't even really hit 40.
I think so. I think the Trist is the needed pick here because they are able to get Janna back again. The Orianna can still make it for him. Ryze should be able to control the top lane for them. The lanes themselves will not get crushed to the point that they had in the previous games. And especially with Twitch on the other side, EDG is going to have that lackadaisical laning phase as well, so this game could actually stretch for them. And they have the protection to all be bodyguards for Uzi and let him carry the game.
Back to inSec, 5-1 in LPL and playoffs with Jarvan.
It's actually a pretty good record.
It's a good record for him. I fear, though, if this Syndra gets locked in, if that Jarvan doesn't get rolling, if he doesn't get tanky quick enough, you're going to get stunned and you're going to get blown up before you do anything. You're going to be left with a Cataclysm down on the floor, which Twitch might say, thank you very much, spray and pray through. Janna was the support pick here, 4-0. We've already seen him on that. And you, once again, will pick up Syndra. Game 3 with Syndra, got them the win. Breakout
champion of this series, breakout champion of the split for you in the summer this year. They have the nice double AP, a ton of line damage when you think about Rumble, Syndra, and Twitch. It will be very critical that Royal Club is able to flank properly and close down adequately onto them. These are very explosive compositions.
So we'd like to see Game 5, it's going to put it all on the line, and somebody's going to have to come out more explosive. As we said before, EDG has done it just gradually, and last time with safeness in the beginning, the way they like to play it, but then they turned it up a notch. There was no tricks, there was no buff steals, they were just able to win it through solid play.
I don't know what these guys feel. I'm actually really nervous for both of them at this point. It was 2-0, almost two easy wins for Royal Club, and I thought 3-0, this one's going to be, you know, early bath and bed for EDG, but they've managed to turn this around. We're going into Game 5, and while we do load into that final game of this series, make sure you guys tweet who you think will advance with the hashtag SHR win or EDG win to us here at LOL Esports. I'm honestly not sure which way this one's going to go. The momentum in this matchup, talk all the time, is momentum a real thing? For me, it is. It always has been. And to be 2-0 up and lose 2 games in a row is a massive problem for Royal Club coming into Game 5.
And it's even more momentum than losing the first 2 games, because that in itself was a miraculous accomplishment for EDG to bring it back to this. But as far as the team compositions, and I'm going to go all the way back to our featured matchup, this composition is built around Uzi. And even though EDG has NaMei on Twitch, it's not built around Twitch. They have more power in their solo laners to do their own things, and it's going to be EDG as a team or Uzi as himself.
Same thing once again. Doesn't matter about the clockwork windup. He'll be all right. He'll be able to heal up. inSec as usual. Messing around with ClearLove.
Having a dance, having a taunt.
Could be some trouble here.
Uzi getting hooked here very early on. This could be Summoner's Burn. Ignite's already down. Uzi jumps away, gets the shield from Zero. And that is not the start that Royal Club wanted.
No. We talk about Uzi gathering himself after that last game. That is not the way you want to start. Not only does he have to burn his flash, he also has to burn his first skill point onto Rocket Jump, which means if Royal Club actually wants to lane swap and push fast, they will be pushing slow because he does not have explosive shot early on.
Well, there's already a trick up EDG's sleeve that they were able to get onto the table. That is absolutely putting a smile on NaMei's face as we saw it just happen. The camera was on him and he was giving some sound words to his team with a smile there. So they're going to push that advantage as much as they can. He already went in and placed a very deep ward towards that red buff. So they have knowledge of when inSec's going to be down there and how much pressure he's going to be putting on that bottom lane. A great start for EDG so far. We've seen the game go both ways.
This could be interesting. They've seen them coming. There's only 2 there, though, so EDG actually backing off from that. And, you know, Royal Club doing that one somewhat blind. They had no wards on their bottom side that would have spotted them coming down the ramp and through that tri-bush. Either way, for Uzi, that rocket jump actually might not hurt him, but they're going to have to either freeze this lane or wait for the explosive shot a little bit later.
And I honestly think for both teams, the nerves coming in a little bit right there. I think after EDG catches Uzi in the bottom lane, they should be able to predict the lane swap, which would predict the invade. And they actually have to do a slow reaction. ClearLove now taking his first buff 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, so about 30 seconds late on his jungle start. It's going to diminish his early game pressure.
Some pings going down for Corn. They're saying watch out from them coming from red buff. This is what both teams have tried to do. Looks like they're going to go back on this one. Just take the blues as usual, and we'll have Koro and Cola trying to pick up a bit of experience with the junglers along the way. We haven't had this fully happen for both junglers just yet. They usually spread out a little bit earlier, so we'll see how this puts them behind. We're definitely going to see Koro with that ultimate being a little more effective in this manner. And Cola is still trying to charge up when he gets the lane.
Oh man.
Yeah.
For Royal Club in the top lane.
So fast. And this could be one of the main reasons that they picked Jarvan. He's granting attack speed now to everyone who is hitting that turret to make it happen much faster. Again, EDG trying to trade that early dragon. It's not like Royal Club can stop it. I wonder if Royal Club tries to take 2 in the top lane.
Gotta juggle this one, right? Koro's only level 1. Taking a couple of hits there from the dragon. And the turret does go down on the top side. You can see the dragon all confused here as he tries to go for Koro, who backs away in the nick of time. This dragon is going to be going down. And that will give us a 1 turret for 1 dragon difference in the early stages here of Game 5. The difference in gold after that is actually about 150 at this point, the way that they're ticking over.
Yeah, they took a really long time on that turret, and Royal Club was able to stick around for the extra waves in the lane, so that wasn't actually the greatest of trades by EDG there. They're still not completely crisp on that dragon aggro swapping. Mind you, it's really difficult to do for the duration of time that it took them to kill that dragon, but it still does hurt them a little bit, not bouncing it properly.
So back from Corn in the mid lane as we see Uzi getting himself farmed up safely in the bottom. Does have that, it actually has not taken that explosive shot for himself, is sitting on a skill right now to be used. It looks like he'll actually hold that for a while to keep it frozen. He'll probably be holding his next few skills to keep that happening. A little bit of an invade, or not rather an invade, but a help on the white, coming still from that top lane. Cola not feeling it's going to be safe to go anywhere by himself, but Koro means he's going to be picking up all that CS to himself in that top lane, and it's not going to be a bad thing because the wave will still pretty much be evened out after this to farm that once he gets wards down.
And it's actually a really good early game for Cola. He stuck around for a lot of lane experience. inSec shared a lot of his jungle with him, and the top lane is positioned in such a way that a monstrous wave will be hitting pretty soon towards Cola's turret, and he should be able to safely farm that. So a pretty good Ryze game here early with the tier already completed.
And if we look at farm across the board, actually rather even. 35 to 39 mid, just a few CS in that bottom lane. The top lane remains pretty much even, at least until Cola gets that wave. Here comes the hook, but it goes straight down the middle and not causing any problems, at least for now, for Royal Club. However, watch for the Lantern because ClearLove is coming. This could be a Lantern gank once that hook comes off cooldown.
Well, maybe a little bit of early aggression from NaMei to say, hey, it's completely safe. And then they hold it, and then they go aggressive. Almost worked on that one. Uzi definitely getting a little bit of game sense that it was going to happen. And they keep it safe. Also, inSec was right there to be on the tail end.
Yeah, pretty trying times. You can see the tension in this game is a little bit higher than in the other ones. Obviously, though, Uzi able to play safe. Everyone was willing to collapse down on that bottom lane. They know how important Uzi's Trist is in this game. If he gets a little bit fed because of the Ori and Janna, they could start pulling this death ball strategy with a really fed Trist pretty well. And they haven't really been able to shut him down as of yet. And specifically, they haven't been able to take any other advantages either. So this slow, methodical early game, this game is playing into the favor of Royal Club.
Time to step up. inSec. He's waiting inside of that bottom brush for someone to come around. ClearLove is on the top side of his jungle. inSec is actually now recalling, so doesn't look like there'll be too much going on there. Cola's trying to keep this wave on his side of that top lane, and as such has gained a 10 CS lead as well.
You keeping it safe in the mid. Corn, we said he'd fall behind a little bit at 10. He's been keeping it pretty safe in these games. A little try from the brush control from Koro. Cola does take the damage, and he can't really trade just yet. Keeps it safe in the farm phase. 10 CS up, as we said before. Not too much pressure actually coming from the junglers this time around. ClearLove not on that Eve is definitely taking his time to farm up a little bit more.
I'm so happy about this series, the way it's played out, and the fact that this game as well, in Game 5, is the closest early game we've seen. It's almost like there's been an absolutely equal amount of bounce back from Royal Club. I really wonder, the first blood that is drawn, how much that will snowball just because of how much is on the line for these teams.
Whew. Being silenced out there, causing a little bit of trouble for Koro. Thought he had a bit of help from ClearLove, but didn't realize he was very, very low. That could have been a bad situation, but it comes out all right. See Corn trying to get the upper hand on you as he comes back to lane. But we're still definitely seeing a much more patient game from both teams. With everything on the line, it's a nobody wants to lose situation. So you're going to see that safe play.
And speaking of safe play, we're so used to seeing the Trist or the Twitch lane swap for the safe late game lane. But they both want to do that, so when they actually match up in lane, it ends up being pretty even here. And it's going to be on the mechanics of these guys to try and pull something off. FZZF obviously has more of the ability to go aggressive if he can land a few good death sentences.
Such a tense start. I think 8.5 minutes may have been the longest we've been waiting for a first blood in this best of 5.
I mean, these guys are already 4 hours into this best of 5. I mean,
yeah,
the stamina it requires and the focus it requires as well to not have made that deadly mistake as of yet is honestly a testament considering how aggressive these teams normally play.
See FZZF trying to thread the needle there and just fits it through past the caster minions, but Uzi's able to dodge out. He is level 6 along with NaMei. Definitely the ability to disengage from Royal Club in this bottom lane is there. Calling Gales, almost the Monsoon up for 0. So if they get into any trouble, they'll be safe. And it looks like trouble's headed their way.
Yep. Will the Lantern, well, there's my answer to that one. Lantern down for the shield means no Lantern to the back for ClearLove, at least for now. They tried it with the flash from FZZF earlier into Flay. Didn't work. But this time they're on the tower.
It's kind of classic Uzi from the group stage. In the group stage, they're almost always pushed up to their opponent turret, almost daring a gank to come. It's not like they're prepared for it. They don't have very good ward coverage, but they do have a level 6 Janna and a Trist, multiple knockbacks. I feel like they are confident that even if the KhaZix came, they could blow them away.
There's a lot of love for this bottom lane right now, and wards aren't really telling that. Dragon also coming up at this point. It looks like you and Korn are going to see that right in the river. inSec also being seen there, so I think everybody's going to hold off for a bit. Play that one a bit more safe. Very cautious and risk-averse coming in from both teams. A change from every game we've seen right now. The first person to get a kill, they're probably going to start putting their foot down and going very, very hard. Already you trying to bully out Korn, and he's been having a much better lane in that mid.
That's the funny thing, that last game where you might have expected EDG to try to be, Royal Club to be making moves. They didn't. They played that standard kind of laning phase out, ended up behind, never really came back. This time, though, they've got a composition where actually they could do that.
Yeah, they would want to play the lanes out, and this time they're keeping the gold pretty even while doing so as well. You can actually see in almost all of their map movements, they are preempting EDG's aggression in the bottom lane and just dissuading them from it. They see a Jarvan, or they notice that the Orianna is mimicking roam, and they just never try to shut Uzi down. With all that, he just keeps farming and farming and farming.
Very interesting for the game to flow in favor of this style, something EDG played all year long, safe in the lanes. Royal Club's going to have to get an edge on this one soon if they really want to make an impact. Koro not going to get anything out of this one, as they're just kind of waiting around for a gank.
And I have to point out Uzi's item build. Normally on Trist, when you're farming in the lane, you want a pickaxe to go with your Avarice Blade. But he was so unpressured in that lane, he stuck around long enough to get a BF sword and an Avarice Blade. So he is much stronger than many Trists are at this point in the game.
inSec was waiting inside of that bottom brush on the river, and well, as soon as Zero comes over and scans it, they realize exactly why nothing's happening for them. And actually, another ward was put down just as they left that brush, so vision maintained on that area of the map for EDG. Once again, you see FZZF just putting that lantern behind them, automatically forces Uzi and Zero a couple of paces back for fear of that KhaZix coming in.
Had a ping on the mid lane, and we see inSec hovering just behind his red, deciding, is that going to be for you, or are we actually going to go to this bottom lane? He seems to be wavering quite a bit on that decision.
The first time in the game that the aggression has not been preempted by Royal Club. They have no mid lane or jungle support, but it is a potential for people from EDG. I feel like FZZF may have given it away there by placing the forward ward. He would not have done that unless he had backup, because of how frequently Uzi was shoving and willing to trade.
That means that you and ClearLove will simply back off Korn. However, he does get a bit of a beat in there. It's ClearLove diving in. Oh, inSec appears from nowhere, but he's going to have to flash. And there's the damage with the ignite from you to claim first blood for EDG.
Oh, and a stun on inSec!
Wait a minute, inSec, that could be a red buff going over now to EDG. Zero's going to be there for the shield as he makes a very nice roam up to save the rear of inSec.
I wonder how this is going to affect the rest of Royal Club. EDG draws first blood in the mid lane, and it goes on to you. That gives them dragon control, and that can potentially give them control of bottom lane as well, if you can punish that enough and start transitioning his lead.
Just like game 4. A lane lead they pull out for themselves. No tricky buff takes. It's going to be theirs, and they are going to start that with a just about 2,000 gold lead. Uzi still farming up, and he doesn't have that much pressure over NaMei right now, even from leaving lane. These guys have been keeping each other quite down in that CS.
Now he certainly doesn't. Blade of the Ruin King is done for NaMei. I'll give him some confidence coming in. Blue buff will be given over to Korn, who's got that Athene's finished off, as is the case with you. Just slightly ahead on the boots front with those sorcerer shoes already finished. He will also be getting himself, of course, that blue buff helped out at the start by ClearLove. So that top lane, again, being relatively quiet after the initial 4-man push up there from Royal Club. Looks like mid lane could be the target, but they've gone past the ward that was inside of the death rush, so they should know that one's going on as the boxer's put down. TP coming in here at the back, but they've got a ward, they're going to see it. Well, there's the lantern.
Oh, man.
Oh, brilliant. Howling Gale will stop it in its tracks.
That's another one of those teleports that I'm very surprised wasn't canceled, because Uzi and Zero were very disengaged at the time of it. maybe they thought the Lantern was going to be able to put it down, but now he has to walk all the way back up to that lane while Cola is just farming. That's another reason Uzi and Zero were so safe in that lane, because they knew all the knockbacks that they had.
6 vision wards in the inventory now, but it's about to hook. They get the exhaust on NaMei. Here comes Cola's teleport. Going away on that one.
Cancelled it.
That's the play. That's what he's supposed to do if they've already escaped the gank. Yes, they didn't want to have that to happen because they didn't expect the Lantern to come in, but I wonder if he's actually pushed too far now. Let's see the chase.
Yeah, this could be dangerous for him. ClearLove red buff on will pop the ultimate, and he's gonna go chasing. They know that Cola's in those rushes somewhere. He just spots him. Slow comes down, equalizer as well. Can Cola escape? He gets the room prison in there. Slow from the harpoon, and Koro burns him down.
EDG taking advantages on every other part of the map. Again, Uzi barely escapes death.
Kills on the solo lanes now. Perfect for the objective fights for EDG to come in here. That's going to be great for Koro, who's already got the Haunting guys and his boots finished. Cola will come back with a Rod of Ages charging up. Here you can see Uzi and Zero clearing out, being safe, also trying to get some plays made here, but no bite from EDG.
And when I was researching this series, even though all the attention is on NaMei versus Uzi, I noticed that EDG's solo lanes could have a pretty big advantage over Royal Club solo lanes, specifically in the group stage. U was +9 CS at 10 over his opponents. Korn on the other side was -5. There was a similar but not quite as pronounced discrepancy in the top lane, and when EDG has won in these games, it has not been through NaMei versus Uzi. Uzi has pretty much held his ground, but when the other members of EDG, when the team of EDG can outperform, has been when they have been successful. And that is happening again this game. ClearLove setting up the top and mid lane, not the bottom lane, and that is what's working for EDG.
Almost, but not quite cleared out. It's Koro once again. Just waits inside of that brush. ClearLove, where's he going now? Into the Royal Club jungle. And put a ward over the top of the wall, and that will see that Cola's gone. Means that Koro can actually push that lane up, should he so wish. That turret behind Cola, though, still stands, and Corny's still quite staunchly defending these pink wards.
Talking about ClearLove a bit, knowing the community kind of gets on his case from not showing the same aggressive play he does in scrims, in solo queue. Seems like he's found himself here on the stage now, able to get that tempered aggression out and get the aggressive plays just straight in. And there's one from inSec onto ClearLove, finding him straight out as he clears a pink. That'll be great for him. Turret's going to go down to the bottom lane. Pushed away is NaMei. So FZZF couldn't really get a handle on that one either.
And honestly, ClearLove has stepped up in this series in a huge way. He's been one of the biggest proponents in both of their victories. FZZF as well has been able to find some amazing catches. Honestly, EDG as a team has been able to stand strong, not necessarily NaMei. NaMei has been playing solid. Nothing spectacular, what he needs to do to defend the rest of the team. But honestly, he does just what he needs to do to win. 3 straight LPL splits. Uzi as well, off in that side lane while the other 4 members try and stall for him.
Got his static shift, so he'll be pushing those waves pretty quickly. BF sword, long sword on top of that. Actually, NaMei's moved down towards that bottom lane, but I don't think there's any attack on the cards. We do, though, have a dragon on its way up in just under 1 minute's time. There was a bit of a flag toss going down. Howling Gale following it through, but they're just jockeying for position here, trying to get some of those early wards onto the top side of River.
And as far as which team has better dragon control, it is EDG by a country mile. Rumble with double magic pen, Syndra catches, Thresh catches, a stealthed AD carry, as well as some deep wards into Royal Club's jungle. If they know what's good for them, they give that dragon up.
Pink wards around mid to make sure Korn doesn't go down anymore. Thinking NaMei is going to start going on some missions with a lantern to get him out if anything goes wrong. Blue buff's going to go over here. Perfect time for Dragon as well. These are going to be some powerful attacks. Oh man, ClearLove actually taking that one for himself. A bit of the burn on the Lizard Elder.
Not ideal, especially because Syndra is already at half mana, so can't do much poking there with Syndra unless they just start the dragon straight off.
Well, I think that they possibly will here. EDG do start. It's NaMei that will bring the Dragon out of its pit, but they've set up a bit of a death brush. inSec coming a little close there, and there is the flag and drag away from the action. Dragon has reset.
Might mean you have to walk in for this one. Flag and drag will come up quickly, though. There's NaMei. These are the plays they want. It's going to go onto a pink wave, though. Shockwave hits. They find NaMei. They almost lock him down, but he's not going to be hit up. Yes, he finally goes down to the burn. The fight continues. Koro now onto 0, but he gets monsooned away right into the team. What an ultimate coming in from 0. And that's going to stop the Dragon for now. 2 down for EDG.
NaMei has been questioned for his positioning ever since he stepped foot on the world stage here. And again, he pops up at the wrong time, tries to get the catch, gets Shockwave, and costs his team a Dragon, which by all means, they had full control over, and now Royal Club has the edge. And
now Royal Club might be looking to push this mid lane down. You might have to just back away and leave it. Let's have a look. He's already down to half. Uzi will tank it up with the help of the shield. They're going to finish it off. The TP. It will come through. Uzi now going to be locked onto by ClearLove. He's already used the jump. Will flash actually as well from that. It's a double kill coming down as Korn and 0 both die.
Great lockdown of the fight. Focus from the team. They're probably going to grab this turret off of it, but EDG not letting just Dragon happen. They come back immediately and return to the fight.
I mean, they might want to take 2 after this one. There's still some death timers onto Korn and 0. Really a nice counterattack. Let's see if they can secure this next turret.
No reason they shouldn't be. We said they had the item spikes, and they knew it coming back in. Able to just fiercely push off the rest of the team. Uzi and Cola doing what they can from range, but Tristana has not gotten the range necessary yet at level 11. We'll be looking for that later, and EDG takes advantage, and another turret.
4-2, 1,000 gold, just a little less than even is what separates the two teams. Scan's not going to see the pink ward, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Somebody walk through it, though.
Hope they can find one.
Nope.
Uzi did.
Yep. Nope.
He's not looking at it.
Yep.
Nope.
Smart pinks, guys.
Wow.
Well, that is really unfortunate for them.
Now they'll see it, though.
Yeah.
Nope.
What is going on here for Royal Club?
This is interesting. Taking Baron damage there. Oh, that pink ward.
Surely.
How?
Surely they will see it soon. One would say.
That guy, that pink ward, return on investment is huge right now. So that's going to stay alive. The Death Brush Baron side is playing a huge role here. 6th member of the team so far for EDG, and they're not worried at all. They're just doing what they want on their side of the jungle. They did set up for a little bit thinking that Royal Club was going to try and take something sneaky, but they're able to get as much clearing now as they want to get these lanes pushed up. They're having a grand old time. Only sitting 1,000 gold ahead, but once they've been ahead, they've been able to keep that lead.
Yeah, that's for sure. However, they did give up that catch around Dragon Pit. NaMei,
yeah, that's
just
true.
Not opening up in the right spots, and that's one thing about a Jarvan Orianna pick against a Twitch. The instant you see that Twitch pop up, there's no Kale to save him in these situations. He will get jumped on and really, really bursted. So that is a real danger for NaMei having to play around that.
A lot of wards around Baron now. 23 minutes in NaMei. What is he thinking of? Started to edge forward, but stealth will run out in the end. Just been a venom flash thrown through. But there are 4 men there from EDG. We can make that 5 now, as you will join in as well. They have 5 men on that top side. Finally going to go around, clear out a couple of wards, and they're going for NaMei. He's been caught out again here. Can he escape it? inSec, though, going to be burst down. Koro might be able to escape. 3-man shockwave, hook onto Korn. FZZF goes through, but he will go down. Is this the turnaround that they're looking for? Korn still trying. There's the jump. He's going for Koro, blows him away, gets the kill, gets the reset. Uzi, is he going to know? He stays alive here, and now they're going to keep going. He will surely fall. No, he can walk away. It's a messy, messy 4 for 3.
Uzi is a walking god of League of Legends as far as this is concerned. Jumping in to that many people and surviving. Once again, no one gets hit by the stun, and you just revealed himself to Uzi.
So far his time alone playing in his favor. One more shot and Uzi picks up 3-0-3. Solidifying another kill, bringing the game to 7-7, and the 1,000 gold lead is now in favor of Royal Club.
That fight started so heavily in the favor of EDG, but like these teams go, it's not over yet.
Teleport, here comes Koro, speeding it out. Uzi going for FZZF. This time he won't be alive for long though, and that is the kill for Koro. Puts him to 2-2-3. Crazy fights on the top side of the map.
This game 5 is delivering upon all of the expectations. 5-1 for you. Uzi as well doing some big things. And yeah, this initiation is what Royal Club thinks they want. They get the ultimate on a NaMei. However, because he positions himself at the back of the Cataclysm, Cola can't get in range to dump damage, which really messes them over. However, the Shockwave saves them, and then that slight overextension by FZZF begins the reset parade for Uzi. He jumps in, dodges just enough skills, knows his exact damage, then flashes over the poison from Twitch, gets a shield at the end from Korn, and just allows the rest of the team to clean up.
I was going to say, just before that fight, Royal Club not good when they are being dictated around. That's when the communication falters, so they decide to dictate. Worked out quite well for them. The communication's a lot easier to see that everybody's going forward than to really get back off of a fight. We'll see if they keep that pressure on. It's 20 seconds onto Dragon. Whoa! Forward once again for inSec. Koro didn't have to flash out of that one. He was actually able to move and dodge out, and it looks like they may be able to rebuttal on this, but they stop it for now.
inSec
ward as well.
Completely on his own agenda right there. Did not have the team to follow him up. Burns flash and ultimate, nearly kills 2 members of his own team. Nobody dies, but they lose a lot of control in that area.
And that's exactly what I was talking about before, when, you know, if inSec's not going to be tanky enough when he jumps in, I wasn't quite expecting, you know, flash, flag and drag into the Cataclysm that would happen, but he can get blown up very, very quickly. This time around, he gets away with his life, and Royal Club still hold the lead. It's 1,000 gold. It's nothing at this point. And Dragon is live. That could just completely even it up.
And this is exactly what needed to happen for Uzi when he was on Vayne as well. Get the late game energy early, and they're able to control it that much more.
And just an ending to our ward story up towards the Baron area. After that equalizer, I noticed the ward was gone. Zero saw it during the retreat and then auto-attacked it down. So they just weren't looking at their mini-map when they were walking past those wards beforehand, or, sorry, their screen, and no one on the team was pinging, which is actually really concerning for their team as a whole. But with all of that, they've managed to pull ahead by 2,000 gold. Zero's on the lookout for those pink wards now.
NaMei, he's going to be backing safely in the top lane now, so a bit relief for Royal Club. They know they may have the lead. They may think it's very, very even, but they're not afraid to take these fights. They weren't afraid to take the fights 11,000 gold down, so EDG has to be ready for that type of initiation. They've seen it before.
Yeah, I can't wait for this game to just continue. There's a QSS on Uzi in case he gets done by Syndra, and it's pretty much the first defensive item I've seen him build in a really long time. Obviously, against the Zed, he built it really late into the game. I think that was the second game we saw in this ridiculous series, but the scaling from Royal Club is actually really catching up now. Yes, there is a 5-1 Syndra on the other team, but they have a whole bunch of burst damage they can throw on NaMei the instant he appears, and positionally, you can be attacked by any type of flank that Royal Club puts at them. I say they have the lead right now.
The gold says that too.
Yeah. The kills don't, though.
The kills don't.
There's one thing.
8-7. The turrets are tied. Yep. And we're tied up 2-2 in the best of 5. So, really, such an important one. Semi-finals on the line. Of course, OMG and Najim White Shield will be playing tomorrow. The winner of this will go through to meet the winner of that one in the semi-finals. Right now, the Royal Club seem to be moving up towards Baron. Gonna get some vision of that one. Pink ward out the front is just a little bit too far out the front to spot the one in the back, but they've got a scan.
I have to point out the risk that EDG is going under right now. They have Koro pushing a lane so far away from Baron without teleport right now. The amount of baiting that Royal Club could be doing around Baron right now is just so dangerous. EDG can't safely check these things. They have to play very scared right now. Finally, Koro home guarding out of the base. to the aid of his team.
He's going to make himself present. EDG can say stop it as much or as long as you can, but Royal Club isn't waiting for anything, so he does have to come up before that teleport's ready. 30 minutes on the clock. Could be a huge turning point for the game here. This is where we see both of these Chinese teams kind of not focusing on the turrets anymore, but getting a fight around this ring, around the Baron, where they can start to turn the tide of the game. Turrets haven't worked for EDG. Baron not so far, and Royal Club's going to also back off of that one, making sure they have all the vision they need. See where NaMei can come around to these fights. He's hanging off on the side with FZZF.
Yeah, very critical here. His flash is back up, so if inSec jumps on him, he would be able to retreat and probably punish inSec pretty hard. Because you look at his build, he's actually built anti-Syndra, not anti-Twitch at the moment. Most people have actually built very anti-Syndra on Royal Club with the expectation that they can blow NaMei up. If that fails to happen during a team fight, they are in for a world of pain.
Such a tense affair. Half an hour point has now been reached. And there is the scan. inSec gets hooked, but there's no follow through. Harpoon actually not landing from Koro either. Zero and Uzi stepping forward to get rid of the pink ward on the backside. And that's fine. There's one inside the Death Brush though, which is keeping full vision of Royal Club at this stage. So EDG don't need to do anything silly.
Yeah, you can see FZZF goes back to buy a bunch more wards. Not only does he have a size 2, he's got 2 greens and a pink, because they know that if they run out of wards, then they're screwed. So he had to get that timely recall with Home Guard boost to get back here as quickly as possible. Royal Club was trying to exhaust EDG of wards here. You can see they're very hesitant to try an all-in initiation because they know they're against Rumble Twitch. They would rather get a catch, but it's just not being presented to them.
Very close. The Orbit Deception almost 3 seconds off cooldown. See that being used by NaMei if they can't get vision on the team anytime soon, but they already have enough wards going in. FZZF controlling that by himself. This will give now Coral with teleport time to go down and clear this wave, but that's going to mean the pressure from Royal Club will be put on. They're going to start this Baron up. They do have quite a bit of damage.
How many
3
times
items Tristana. They're forced to back off here. Just that vision. Teleport coming in as well. They're not going to really able to be activating anything off of this.
It was a teleport expenditure right there. That's the main purpose of that. This time they burned the cooldown. However, that bottom lane did get shoving in the right direction, so that was not a full commit from Royal Club. That was just for the teleport.
And full committals from Royal Club have been somewhat scary throughout
both sides.
Best of 5 so far. Oh, inSec. Oh, not quite landing onto him, though. This one remains tense. Still only 1,400 gold between Edward Gaming and Starhorn Royal Club. Game 5 of this quarterfinal. Recalls will come in. Howling Gale just too late and in the wrong direction for the last one. But Zero off on his own once again to make sure that they've got the wards in position. But it's going to be a recall time. A lot of those pinks that they picked up on the last time have now been already used.
I can't say enough about this Game 5 delivering, especially after how quickly and decisively Royal Club was dispatched by EDG in Game 4. And Uzi sitting apart from the rest of his team afterward. To come back and put up this kind of a fight in Game 5 is remarkable. But with that being said, both these teams and both these team compositions stand a pretty even chance of winning.
Zero just recalled on top of a ward there. I don't think EDG are going to commit to this kind of thing, though.
Safe pushes for now.
NaMei goes in, they've done him! NaMei jumps on there by the Cataclysm. Shockwave comes down as well, but they've killed off the AD carry. They might surely just turn around for Baron now.
Syndra plus Twitch. QSS be damned, they get enough damage on him with the equalizer at the end to finish off the biggest threat from Royal Club Uzi, and they burn the Shockwave. They're going to try and burn this Baron down as quickly as possible.
That Shockwave being down is huge for this start.
Oh, no.
It's also a scatter weak that could stop them from coming in. Will they try to go over the wall here? There's some flashes still. That's ClearLove over the wall. NaMei's in the... Oh, he gets exploded and the Baron's dead. Cole is going to walk out, but only so far. That's a buff transfer over to you. That's a continuous fight for him now if they can get in range. But that's 2 for 1. Also, Uzi being down before. And that is a great stop on Baron by Royal Club.
That Ryze first pick showing a fair bit of value. Who thinks to do that, by the way? Hooked over the wall at the Baron pit. I know, let's flash into the Baron pit and blow up Twitch immediately. That's exactly what Cola did. Got very close range for the bouncy spell flux.
Yep.
And just blew him up. Let's check this out one more time. Hooked. He sees NaMei. Not only did he avoid some of the damage, he just gets point blank. NaMei had no chance there. And the presence of mind by Cola really prevented a disaster there for Royal Club.
Uzi will be saying thank you. Thank you for that, because
it
was me that got caught out. And Uzi himself, just getting that red buff, is actually going to be going back home now.
We did say these games were going to be about the AD carries, that featured matchup, but the team is still what helps win these games. And Cola, part of that, a big part of the team, coming up huge. See level 16 for Uzi, so when he does get back, he'll be able to utilize a little bit more range and hopefully keep himself in a safe position. NaMei as well, it's got to be said for both of them. And inSec getting caught out a bit here, but only the safety of the rest of the EDG team. That's going to be an equalizer. The Monsoon comes out. Zero, the savior with that one once again. And it looks like they stave off any deaths for that, but the pressure is still on to Baron.
The Twitch Syndra's really starting to show through. You and NaMei showing considerable threat now onto Royal Club, but still, they haven't broken the game open as of yet. And every time they open, there is yet another risk. Now, Royal Club, knowing there's a few ultimates down, try and push mid.
This could be very interesting. EDG are just off to the side. That Holy Gale will be set up to knock ClearLove, and actually they'll get him away from this one. That turret is going to take a hell of a beating. Uzi might even get it. He does get it. That's a tower for Royal Club. And now they turn. They're going to get back towards Baron and get their own wards down. With
Spray and Pray and Equalizer down, Royal Club has no fear. They know that the line AoE damage is no longer a threat, and they can pretty much just go wherever they want. Even if Uzi gets singled out, they could just shield him up, and the Syndra probably wouldn't have enough to kill him. So that failed kill actually really cost EDG.
I wouldn't be surprised for them to go in with those up either. Coro goes in a face check. A straight face check going into the river. He's going to go down. The Rumble ultimate had just come up as well, and it looks like they're still waiting on Twitch's ult. That rat-a-tat-tat cannot be used here. They're going to go full bore on it. They're going to try to pull in EDG for this one. The Zanyas are there to get in and kind of misdirect the damage and the plays, but will they even get the chance? Will they turn? Looks like a bit of it.
ClearLove there, being blown away, and there is the Baron picked up by Royal Club. There's still 30 seconds until Coro comes back into this one. What are Royal Club going to do? They're going top. That's the easy tower here.
I mean, they knew that EDG couldn't make it all the way into the Baron pit because of Coro's demise, and now Royal Club fully on the defensive. 5 strong, push atop.
Wow, the mental fortitude from both of these teams really showing right now. And Royal Club felt like they just needed to turn up the heat a bit. Now with a 5,000 gold lead, they have gotten Baron, and they are completely in control of this game. It'll be interesting to see if EG can put up the same results from behind that Royal Club was.
And that's the thing, best of 5. No one remembers what you did in games 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yep. It's all about what you do in game 5 for you, whether you win it for your team, whether you lose it for your team. This is where legends really are made in these kind of scenarios. So far, it's Royal Club that have the lead. It's 4,000 gold. But the way it's been going, there's so much that can change.
I mean, the whole team needs to be there with you as well. Uzi getting caught out. You think that's the end. The star player goes down, gets picked off. No, Cola makes a play. He had been underperforming this entire series. But he's just sitting there in the corner, drains a three-pointer, in a sense, to save the team because he killed NaMei 1v3 and saved the Baron buff. They can come back from that, storm through, finish another Baron off. And what this would mean for inSec if he can break the O2 curse. That's all the story, but there's actually a fight that happened right here. They just straight up burned him away. They pushed ClearLove outside of the smite range. That's the only thing they needed to do there because they knew a fight wouldn't happen.
Right now, trying to take control of the bottom lane. All of EDG have set their numbers there, except for ClearLove, who makes sure the top wave is at least pushed so they can battle down here for quite some time, because it doesn't look like Royal Club is leaving anytime soon. The Baron buff still 2 minutes exactly to revolve. inSec getting a little too close, not able to even do a bit of damage.
They weren't willing to open on inSec because they only would settle for Uzi at this point. Now with the Bloodthirster, Janna, and Orianna, if they don't catch Uzi, Uzi kills everyone.
Banshee's Veil as well stopped him from being in too much trouble, even though, you know, it wasn't an all or nothing on inSec there. could have been different if they did decide to just kill off inSec, because at this stage, Syndra is going to blow whoever up. And look at that gold difference over time. It's so close. Around about 2,000 in either direction already in this game, but it's around that 37-minute mark that things have really gone crazy. And that Royal Club, after that Baron, got into a bigger gold lead, and now they're knocking on the inhib tower.
And there's a really small window now before Yu finishes his Void Staff. He has so much AP, but a lot of magic resistance has been accumulated by the entire Royal Club team. He needs a minute to go back to base and purchase that, but Royal Club is knocking on the door with Baron, and he's going now. This is a small window for Royal Club.
Uzi with even more safety, the Mikhails and the Quicksilver Sash we were talking about before, for him to dive into these fights that he himself has been controlling on the back half of inSec's engages.
Syndra stunned
They're not going to give up.
Time to go a bit aggressive.
Once again, down the hook as well, so that relieves a bit of pressure, and it's enough pressure to drop the first inhibitor turret. They don't have many waves to work with, so it looks like they're going to stay to party for now. And it's EDG trying to force them out of the base. Uzi hanging on the right side with a nice BF shield, their Bloodthirster shield, to keep himself up.
In order for EDG to push them out, Twitch has to open up, which would leave a vulnerability for Royal Club to pound them down, and they just give up the inhibitor with an activity.
They're diving in, they're going for ClearLove. There is the inSec diving into them. ClearLove gets his gun in, he's got Shockwave, pull back, FZZF will fall as well. It's 2 men down. Uzi goes in there. NaMei is at the back, chipping away with a rat-a-tat-tat, but that might not be enough to hold them in this game. Stun to Uzi, Quicksilver Sash,
that could
kill
be it.
for Uzi. NaMei gonna be locked up. NaMei goes down, and it's all now on Koro. They dive on him. Triple kill for Uzi. It's Royal Club that do it the hard way, but go through to the semi-finals.
So much win right there for Royal Club. Not only do they move on to the semifinals, they break the inSec curse, and they crush EDG in Game 5.
Peace and quiet was what Uzi needed to come into this game. He took it upon himself to take a little extra time. Silence, in this case, did not cause chaos for the team, and they were able to come out on top. Being dictated around for the first half of the game, it was the initiation from inSec top, where he died for Uzi to get going, as Uzi just flies into the fight, and then it gave him the confidence to do it continuously.
And what a roller coaster of emotions for both of these teams. Honestly, they fought tooth and nail until the very end. The 5th game, the closest of them all by a long shot. And honestly, one little mistake here or there could cost them. Whether or not Kola can flash and finish off NaMei, whether Koro can have the wards in the right position and not get caught out, whether a Syndra stun lands instead of misses, all these things could have changed this series.
The question was the featured matchup for that best ADC in China. And I think it was answered that Uzi stepped up quite a bit here in this best-of-5 series.
He was absolutely amazing. Honestly, there were a couple of games there, obviously, where it just didn't quite work out for him, but NaMei will be kind of missing rude chances there. We saw him at the end out of position, really. I mean, it's always hard as a Twitch, because you know, if you step just a tiny bit too far closer to the team, they're going to dive on you. They're going to go straight for you.
And we mentioned as well when we saw this team composition for NaMei, it was a Twitch without backup. So he was really just trying to work in concert with his Syndra, but it wasn't one of those Twitch opens up with Kale on top of him and Lulu on top of him and kills the world. It was really Twitch off on his own solo mission, which Royal Club really built to counter. I mean, what is NaMei realistically doing here, unless he's following up a Syndra stun? Because Shockwave, Jarvan, even Uzi just hit him a few times. It's a really hard life for him.
Everybody's standing out in this one as well. Kola with his Baron stop. When Uzi went down, Uzi must have just felt so distraught after that one, but Kola said, don't worry, I'm going to make a big play for you.
And that could have been this game, to be honest. If they'd have not got that kill, if Kola would have gone down before, you know, he took
dropping NaMei,
that literally, they could have done the Baron right there, and that could have been the game for Royal Club. That was a pivotal moment in this one. So much to talk about, such a tense game for such a long time. Absolutely incredible best-of-5.
Yeah, and I gotta congratulate inSec as well.
Yeah.
What this must mean to him. He broke the curse, and he didn't even have to do it on Lee Sin. He decided not to pick Lee Sin, went with another pick, expanding his jungle champion pool. That is a huge moment for him. The Jarvan was the right pick for this situation, locked down Twitch whenever he opened up, Comboed with Orianna just right. Good job.
The all-in